All right, for the sake of time, it's 10:01, so we're going to get started. We are going to record this, so if anyone hops in a little late, they can watch the recording back, and we'll have that available for everyone afterwards. So good morning to all the NCPGA members and associates who are here on the call. Myself, who I am the career consultant for the Northern California section, and Junko Harkins is here, and she is the player engagement consultant for Northern California. So together, we've decided to talk a little bit today about deferred compensation, the new plan that the PGA of America just launched, as well as the compensation survey. So a couple housekeeping items before we jump in. If you have not signed up yet online for your PDR credit, please sign up for that. I will record the PDR points after the call. You can always send me an email as well if you need it. Please mute yourself if you're not talking, just for background noise. We don't want any background noise and disturbing the webinar. Please hold your questions until the end. So we're going to talk a little bit about deferred compensation first, and then after that, we'll ask for questions about that topic, and then we'll move into the compensation survey, and we'll ask questions at the end of that. So that's all for me for right now. I want to thank Len in the section office for allowing us to present today. And I want to turn over to Len real quick just for a hello and any housekeeping items he might have.
So thank you, Caitlyn. Thank you, Junko, for getting together and doing this. So to everybody, good morning. And this is really important. So again, Caitlyn and Junko have taken this on, and it's just going to be terrific, and it signifies a couple things. You know, the deferred compensation is a huge step for national working out something with the Internal Revenue Service for the members, and it's just a great step in that. So we applaud them and hope that you see it for what it is, really another income stream, and in many cases for activities that were already being done. So part two is the compensation survey. And Caitlyn's a lot tougher than me, so you have to answer to her, not me, on the compensation survey. That is also very, very integral, takes about 4 or 5 minutes at best, and is also importantly, and I know, Caitlyn, I know you'll say it, and Junko, I know you'll say it too, it's also part of our section funding this year. So there we all have a vested interest in doing it. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much again to both of you for putting this on and taking care of us and making sure we know what's going on, and for everybody that's attending.
Thank you, Len. Appreciate that. So we're going to jump into a short video that the PGA put out that's really helpful in kind of describing the plan before we start talking a little bit about it.
PGA members, introducing the PGA Deferred Compensation Plan. A plan where you earn points that convert into dollars that come back to you, supplementing your retirement. All the while helping to grow the game of golf. Through deferred compensation, your participation in certain activities will earn you points. Points will be converted into dollar contributions or on an annual basis, provided that a member hits the 200-point minimum. Up to $1,500 per year deposited into your deferred compensation account by the PGA. Points can be earned by doing any variety of 16 PGA-approved activities. The number of points you earn depends on how involved you want to be in the program and the PGA. For example, if you are a PGA Junior League coach who is responsible for leading a team, you earn 75 points. If you oversee a league with 24 or more players, you earn 125 points. If you coach that full league through the season, coach the All-Star team, and host an All-Star Play Day, you earn a whopping 250 points. Again, you must earn a minimum of 200 points per plan year to participate, and points do not roll over to the next year. The deferred compensation plan year always begins on April 1st and ends on March 31st. The points are converted into dollars, and the dollars will be credited into your deferred compensation accounts before the end of July. You can design your own portfolio by choosing from over 30 investment options. You can move into different funds at any time with the potential to earn compounding interest year after year. Then, when you turn 65, monthly distributions will be paid out over a 10-year period. Your involvement in fun PGA activities starting now can help you financially in the years to come. Our plan has no effect on your Golf Retirement Plus plan or any other retirement accounts you may have. You can continue to participate in all of these and also earn your full PDRs. Your account will be managed by Corebridge Financial, who is also administrator of the Golf Retirement Plus. And yes, there's an app. to help you manage your points and funds the whole way through, from choosing to tracking your activities through submitting them for validation and watching the points add up. So participate in the mentoring program, host a drive, chip, and putt event, even log on a year of activity on the PGA digital platform, such as PGA Coach, and watch those points start to grow. Then think about retirement, when you'll be living the good life, doing whatever you love, like playing golf. The PGA Deferred Compensation Plan, a PGA member benefit starting now that can help you later. PGA members, introducing the PGA Deferred Compensation.
All right, so I hope everyone enjoyed that short video. My name again is Junko Harkins. I am the player engagement consultant and I support the Northern California PGA section, and I'm happy to work with Caitlyn here on a daily basis. So really looking forward to this webinar today. So let's talk about deferred compensation. So the goal of this is obviously to reasonably compensate our members. I know many of you have probably asked, what does the PGA do for me? So here's just one of the many initiatives that PGA has created to benefit you all as PGA members. And that, of course, myself, Caitlyn, and Len really encourage you to take advantage of. We have found a way to do this in conjunction with the IRS for performing certain activities and meeting specific objectives to earn contributions toward a deferred compensation fund through a point system. So we've continually heard, or PGA has continually heard, no from the IRS for so many years, and we finally heard yes. So again, this is just an exciting opportunity for members to build wealth and a great recruiting tool as well, because I know, and Caitlyn will probably speak at some point about this, but it's really hard to find assistant golf professionals these days, right? And we are in such a boom right now. So this is one of those great recruiting tools, I think, to encourage more individuals to get into the golf industry. And who doesn't want to earn more towards a retirement income, right? Especially when we're ready at that age. So put in all the hard work now to hopefully enjoy life later down the road too. So it also incentivizes activities that are good for both the profession and the game. So we'll talk a little bit about some of the activities that are included in this, and you all should have received an email about that too. Members can start registering now, and you can start earning points through the PGA's fiscal year. So the fiscal year is April 1st to March 31st of next year. So that's kind of the calendar year, if you will, that the PGA works on. So we would like to point out, though, we are in the early stages of this. We just introduced this earlier this month, and we would love for you to participate because we want your feedback and we want the data so we can make improvements and changes as we move forward with this. So something also to note, as you earn points throughout that fiscal year, again, from April 1st to March 31st of next year, funds will be deposited into your accounts 120 days after the fiscal year ends. So please just make a note of that. It is 120 days after the fiscal year ends. The eligibility for this is all PGA members in good standing. Class F members will not be able to, or will not be eligible to start earning points while in Class F status. And PGA associates and university students are not eligible for this plan either. But again, just more of an incentive to become a PGA member and to stay in good standing so you can be a part of this program.
Okay, so what is deferred compensation? You know, you hear that word a lot. Basically what it is compensation that's just set aside to be paid out on a later date. So it's just like a 401k plan. A lot of people have 401k plans at their clubs currently. And like Junko said, it's supplementary. It's not, it's something else that you can have as long with your 401k plan with the club, but it's a nice benefit that for sometimes if you don't have a 401k plan at your club, you can take part in this. So this money will be available come age 65 when you hit retirement. And it comes in a variety of different forms as well. The big benefit here is that the contributions come directly from the PGA of America. So this is nothing is coming out of your personal paycheck, which is different than other 401k plans where you contribute a certain percentage of your paycheck into your plan. This is solely funded by the PGA of America. So it's an amazing perk and an amazing benefit that the PGA is giving to all of its members. And so something definitely to enroll in, absolutely.
Sorry, couldn't find my microphone for a second. Sorry. So contributions and withdrawals. So contributions to the plan, like Caitlyn just mentioned, are only made to by the PGA of America. So there are no participant contributions. And currently the maximum amount an eligible member can receive in a plan year, again, just a reminder, that fiscal year, is up to $1,500. This amount is set by the IRS and it can change from year to year, but this is what we were told for this first year that we are doing this. And the actual dollar amount received by a member depends on several different factors. This includes how many total points you've actually earned, how many total people have actually participated in this plan. So the more of you that participate, the better, and the overall contribution by the PGA for that specific plan year. Withdrawals, as Caitlyn mentioned, the distribution age is 65 years old, and you will not be able to withdraw funds before that age. There will be maybe exceptions made if there are what we call hardship withdrawals, but that is only available in limited circumstances. There'll be a distribution period. So this will be, members will receive that plan benefit in monthly payments over the 10 years after you hit that age of 65. No taxes will be withheld on the distributions, but we do encourage all of you to reach out and consult with a tax professional for any tax-related questions. Loans and rollovers are not permitted within the plan.
Okay, so I sent everyone an email with the call-in information that had a list of all of the current point values that are associated right now. So currently there are 16 different activities. Some of those include Junior League, Family Golf, mentoring a PGA associate through the program, PGA Hope, and some others that we'll talk about here shortly. Members will earn points towards the plan after completion of those activities. And the key thing to point out here is that you actually must earn a minimum of 200 points in a given plan year to be eligible. Otherwise, you forfeit the points. So each year, you have to at least earn 200 points to get that dollar amount. And if you don't, then it'll flush out for the year and you'll start fresh in the next year. And they cannot be rolled over to future plan years. So if you ended up doing 150, for example, this year, you didn't get to that number, those do not roll over to next year. You'll have to start fresh. So we'll talk a little bit about the app and how you report those points, but members will use the PGA member app and report your points on that. And then you can also attest it from another PGA member and record your points through the app.
So we did, as Caitlyn mentioned, we sent these activities out yesterday when we sent the call information out, and hopefully you all had a chance to print them out and maybe review them. I know some of this font looks really small on our screen, so again, hopefully you have them in front of you. So for any activities that may not be on this list that you feel like maybe should be on this list, please let us know and we can have the PGA bring them to the IRS to see if they can be added in the future. But this is, again, is what we're starting out with. And I do want to point out, again, I know the font is really small and it might be hard to read, but would just like to point out a few easy activities that you can actually do right away to start earning some points. So of course, being a PGA Junior League coach, there's still time to participate, especially with being able to run multiple seasons throughout the year now with the new tech platform. So feel free to jump in to do PGA Junior League, and I'll be here to hold your hand every step of the way for that. And then inclusive golf communities. So this is, overseeing or work on one of the national or nationally approved programs like PGA Junior Camps or the new NCCGA local tournaments or PGA Team Golf. So a lot of the player engagement activities that we now have at the PGA of America. Things like drive, trip, and putt. So these are things that you can definitely be a part of and start earning points quickly. The second page here, some of the other activities to point out is PGA Hope. I know Northern California PGA section is really active with PGA Hope, and you all run such a great program. I know I just became PGA Hope certified to be a coach, so I'm really excited about that. But if any of you are certified for this and you do that, again, great way to start earning your points for this fiscal year. And then if you host a drive, trip, and putt, so whether it's a local or a sub-regional or regional qualifier, you can earn points towards that as well. And then, of course, I'm sure many of you who are PGA members have associates working with you or under you. And if you help them get their membership, this is easily a great way to earn points quickly as well.
Absolutely. Thanks, Junko. So here are some options as far as investments. There are over 30 different investment options to choose from. Members can move into different funds at any time to meet your investment goals. So really whatever works best for you in your situation. Obviously we're not accountants and we're not tax people. So if you have any other real serious questions, please connect with your accountant on more information there. You will have the option to change your investment elections, but that's once your plan has been funded. So until your plan has been funded, you'll be in your same fund until then you can then switch into a different investment fund.
So we're really excited. I know in the video they mentioned we have an app for this. I know we're in this technology world. So yes, we do have a new PGA member app, and we really encourage you to download this. And one of the many tools and resources you can use to stay on top of your points that you're earning through deferred comp. So this is already launched. You can find it in the App Store, whether you have an iPhone or an Android or anything like that. So make sure you take a look at it. And it allows members to submit activities. So again, this is how you can attest each other once you need to confirm these activities that you've done to earn your points for deferred comp. And then, another bonus of this, you can keep up on your PDR credit. So this is always a nice feature, right? You don't have to actually log on a computer anymore. You can use the mobile app to kind of see where you are as far as your PDR points.
Absolutely. So, and it's kind of funny too, because people have asked me, okay, well, what is the app called? It is actually called PGA Member App. So when you're searching for it in the App Store, that's all you need to type in and you will find it. So I took some screenshots of my screen. I downloaded the app and just wanted to show you kind of what it looks like. So on the first image there on the left, you'll see that's kind of the home screen. When you log on, you see my name, you see my member ID, and then you see your PDR status. Like Junko said, it's going to be nice for you to be able to keep tabs on where you're at and how many points you need left. In that blue box, you'll see that that's where the deferred compensation plan is going to be held. You'll click on that button that says Get Started and enroll, and that's where you'll sign up for the deferred comp plan. So this little blue box going forward will be where your points are stored. So once you verify your points, you'll see a number pop up there with your point number. PGA staff members are not allowed to enroll in the plan. That's why I don't have, it doesn't show my account there, but it just shows Get Started. So on the second image, you'll then be able to find activities. So once you're enrolled, once you're signed up, you then can search on the app for all these different activities that you can say you've done, and then you'll be able to have someone attest for you. So you'll see on the side there, PGA Junior League, full league coach. That's worth, I think, 250 points. So if you did that, you'll go on that, you'll click on that, and then you'll be able to say, I did this program, and you'll be able to have a PGA member name pop up where maybe it's your boss, you put their name in, and they're actually able to log into their app and attest the points. So the next video here, I'm going to show you basically the process of someone going in there and attesting your points for you.
Has another member sent you an activity to confirm on their behalf? Let's show you how to attest their activity. Log on to your member app and go to the Deferred Compensation tab. Click the notification box. You will already see a notification alert. Click the review request. Our fellow member Kim has sent us a request for Junior League team captain. If we can confirm Kim's activity, we can click the confirmation box and click confirm activity. If we do not feel comfortable confirming Kim's activity, we can click unable to confirm. In this scenario, we're going to click confirm activity. We'll get a notification that the activity has been confirmed.
So I think that's a pretty helpful video there. And like she said, once it has been approved, you will see the points pop up right away. But one thing to note, like Junko mentioned in the beginning, the dollar amount will not be shown until 120 days after the calendar year. So let's say you earn 300 points this year. You'll see your 300 points on there, but you won't see a dollar amount until 120 days after this fiscal year. So that will actually be August of 2024. So things just to point out, if you haven't seen your dollar amount show up yet, you're okay, all good, as long as you have your points on there.
So this was our overview on the deferred compensation, and we highly encourage you to sign up for this and start earning your points now. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to myself, Caitlyn, or even Len. But the email address here on the screen will definitely be able to answer all of the questions that you might have. Again, I know Caitlyn mentioned we're not, accountants, or we're not overly proficient in tax knowledge. So of course, those are things that you might want to contact the email address about. But regardless, feel free to reach out to us, because if we don't know the answer, we're always here to help support and find those answers for you, or at least lead you in the right way. So feel free to take out your phones right now and scan the QR code and register for deferred comp right now. And again, especially if you're doing any of those activities listed, you might as well start earning your points. Right now, before we dive into, of course, the compensation survey, I would love to take any questions that you might have directly about the deferred compensation. We can take a few minutes here. So please feel free to either unmute yourselves or raise your hand if you know how to use some of the tools at the bottom of Google Meet. We are here to answer any questions. Go ahead, Len.
Okay, thanks, Junko. Thanks, Caitlyn. Well done. So would you address for members that are already 65 or over, the program is certainly still available to them?
Yes. So 65 is just the age when you can take out the dollar amount. So even if you are 65 and you're a PGA member in good standing, you still are eligible for this, and you still can start earning points, and you'll actually be able to withdraw basically right away. So if you're at a club and you're running all these events, absolutely take part in it. It's another benefit to you no matter of your age. So definitely take advantage.
Thank you, Caitlyn.
Any other comments or questions? We'll give it about another minute before we dive into our next topic. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, thanks both for putting this together for us. It's great. Real quick, I probably just missed two. So when we're talking about clicking off the activity, so just if I've got my assistants here and they're putting in, they're trying to say, yeah, I did these activities. I'm the one that's signing off on that. Is that correct?
Yes, if they select you, and Caitlyn, correct me if I'm wrong too, but if they select you through the app or through the attestation process to confirm that, then yes, you would be the individual that would be confirming that. And
then I guess that's the check and balance to say, if I was the captain of the team and Junko, you're working for me, and you say I'm also the captain of the team, but what if they don't select me as their approval?
So especially in a situation like Junior League, like if someone's, for example, in a multi-facility league, I could select, let's just say I'm at, XYZ Golf Club, and in my multi-facility league, I'm playing a club down the street, and their PGA member knows that I was an active coach. I could even select that person. It doesn't always have to be someone at your facility.
Gotcha. And so, and then finally, multiple people can be part of the same thing. So, for example, we hosted the drive, chip, and putt. We had numerous people help facilitate it. So they would pick as like, I helped run it, but maybe I would be the one that had organized it. So I may have one who then, and then the other thing is me as the head pro, who's checking and balancing on me.
As far as that, the check and balance on yourself, a lot of that can also be self-attestation. So you are able to also attest yourself if you're like the manager on duty. But it's always best to select someone else. So I would just select someone else maybe you worked with, even though it might be someone who maybe is underneath you, I guess, in the chain of management. They're trying to get in the habit of having someone attest your points. So it may not be someone above you. It also might be someone you worked with or below you. So, but yes, as far as the drive, chip, and putt, you can all report points for that. So
yeah, just that was just more general. Like if multiple people can get points when they help. Great. Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Any other questions or comments before we jump into the comp survey? And we'll have some more time at the end too. I just wanted to, while maybe this was fresh in everyone's mind, we wanted to take a few minutes.
Yeah. I just want to add to, I've gotten this question just real quick. The Golf Retirement Plus plan is different. So I know people think, okay, well, is this Golf Retirement Plus? That's a program that came out before this. It is separate and you can actually be enrolled in both. So the thing with this new program, Deferred Comp, is that this is solely funded by the PGA of America. So that's the nice benefit. They are different and you are eligible for both.
Yeah, and final reminder again, too, I know we've mentioned this a few times, but this is new, right? So we really would love as many of you to participate because we want your feedback. And sure, it might not be like the greatest this first year, and you might look back and say, maybe not as much, but we are looking to improve this. At least I know PGA of America would love to, because they obviously want to provide these benefits for our members because they care about you. So please make sure you participate and give all of us as much feedback as you can so we can continue to make changes and improvements as we go. Well, let's dive into the comp survey.
All right. So PGA compensation. Yep.
I had one more question about the deferred. On the video, it said that the professional picks out of over 30 categories. Do we have to pick where those funds are going to be distributed before the funds are distributed 120 days after, or what does that look like?
When you enroll, you're able to select like your investment options. The only thing is you can't change it. Once you select it, you can't change it until your funds are in the account. So that would be the 120 days. Like if you throughout this year said, oh, I want to change my investment plans, you can then change it after it's been funded, if that makes sense. But originally you'll select it, then you're kind of stuck with it until the plan gets funded. And then once it's funded, you can have the option to change.
Okay, so we picked that when we signed up. We picked something. I forgot I signed up a long time ago.
Yeah, it should select it for you. Yeah.
And is a life member able to participate in deferred compensation?
All PGA members in good standing. So
Thank
yes.
you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So rolling into the compensation survey. So the compensation survey, that is kind of an email that you get, I'm sure, every single year from the PGA of America, and you go, oh, it's time for the compensation survey. It is one of our national surveys that we send out every single year, and you get 1 PDR credit per cycle for completing that survey. This is a large pillar of what your career services team does for members and associates on a day-to-day basis. This tool allows our team, the career services team, to better serve you and your fellow professionals, as well as employers, with the goal of increasing compensation for all members. So who doesn't want to make more money, right? So this tool really helps our team give employers and give members the correct information about what jobs are worth, to really show your value at the club. So a thing to point out here is I know sometimes you get the email and you go, well, I haven't changed jobs. There's no point in me updating it. It's really important to get in the habit of updating this every single year, even if you haven't changed jobs. It's just great to get in that habit of updating it, putting your new information in, even if it hasn't changed. Going in and saving it will earn you the point for your cycle. So some myths here on the compensation survey. I always hear some of these myths from members and associates of why they haven't completed it. The big one is it takes too long to complete. So many of you know that the old compensation survey that was sent by the PGA was pretty long. That was a long, in-depth survey that went out that took maybe even an hour up to time. This new survey launched a couple years back, and it is very, very short. It will take you probably no more than 5 minutes, maybe even less. It basically goes over your salary information as well as any type of bonuses, merchandise commissions, any type of other commissions, and then you're able to submit it. So it's much shorter. It's streamlined because we know that PGA members are all very busy on a day-to-day basis, that we needed to make it a little shorter for everyone to be able to complete it. The second myth we always hear is I want my data to be confidential. Your data is definitely confidential. So I actually don't even have access to anyone's data. So as of January 1st, PGA of America, there's only 2 people that have access to the data. It is our Senior Director of Career Services, as well as one of our tech people on our Career Services team. So he does all of our back-end tech work. He works with Salesforce, which is our back end of our program, and then our Senior Director. So those are the only 2 people who have access to it. As far as what I see, I'm just able to go in there and download reports based on classifications, but I'm not able to see anyone else's data. So your data is completely confidential to yourself and to your profile. Another myth is I'm in a non-traditional classification and you don't need my information. So the PGA of America currently has 24 classifications, so A1 through A24. And in our section alone, you know, we have a very big section here in Northern California. We have about 1,100 members and associates. We have someone in every single one of those classifications. So even if you think that your classification is rare, there may be someone else that reaches out to me that says, hey, can you get me some data on an A11? And if I don't have the data to share with them, then I'm kind of letting them down. So you're important just as everyone else is. So even though you might not be a traditional A1 head golf professional role, your classification is also important to what I do on a day-to-day basis. The last myth I hear a lot is that my compensation is really low. I don't want to bring down the average. I also hear the other end of the spectrum too. My compensation is higher. I don't want to, bring up the average, right? So you have the 2 outliers. Every single report I download, there's always outliers. There's always ones that are a little bit higher than the average, and there's always some that are a lot lower than the average. And that's what's so great about our reporting tools is that we're able to see those outliers and kind of adjust accordingly. So we need to know your data. And if it is lower, that's okay, because we can probably have a conversation about getting your compensation higher. Because if you are on the low end and I'm able to download a report and see that you are 20% less than the average, then let's talk and let's get your compensation up higher, and I'm able to help you with that. So those are some of the myths, and I know that I've heard several of these already this year, and hopefully that clears up some of them for you, but it is nice that it is much more streamlined of a process now.
So we'll play this brief video of what the survey looks like now. As Caitlyn mentioned, one of the many myths, or one of the things we hear a lot, is the comp survey takes too long. So hopefully this video will prove to you that it's a lot shorter. So as you can see here, you'll go through, you'll scan the QR code, which we'll have here later at the end, and you'll log into your PGA account, and right there, the compensation survey will take you through a few questions here. I think depending on what you select too, there'll be other drop downs, like as you just saw, the merchandise sales, other income details. So some of this might even include, PGA Junior League, so your coach revenue or your lesson revenue. So So all it takes is that, not as long as it used to be. So it's a great update and a great change. So as far as I know, Len mentioned this before, filling out the compensation survey is not only important because it benefits all of our industry, but also for the section too. So we know the Northern California PGA section has many great events and opportunities for members and associates. And we know you want these to continue and even, you know, possibly be enhanced. So we need your help in filling your surveys out so the section can also continue to provide all these wonderful programs that they already do. The funding that the section receive will only help and obviously be beneficial to all of your member and associate experiences. So again, please make sure you fill these out. We are currently, as you can see on the slide here, as of April 1st, we were at 51% completion rate. So we would love to get this as high as we can. So hopefully you'll fill this out at the end of our call today.
Absolutely. Thank you there for that, Junko. I know currently, you know, it'd be great to be one of the top sections in the country that's, you know, that has this filled out and be a, you know, be a leader in our industry. And so we definitely need your support on that. But as far as kind of what you get from doing it, right? You know, everyone's like, well, what do I get from filling that out? This is always available to you. So, you know, your career services team, I'm one of 26 career consultants around the country. You know, I serve just Northern California, but I'm available to ask for any type of reporting as far as compensation. So if you reach out to me and you're wondering, hey, what is an average Northern California section head golf professional making? I'm then able to go in on my system and look up all A1s in our section at certain facility types. So if you're at a private club, you want me to just look up just private, I'm able to go in the system and look up just private facilities. So here's kind of an example on the screen of what comes up when I'm able to sort by classification, by section, by facility type. And you'll see that there's always base pay, bottom 25%, top 50, top 75%. That's all base information. There's total compensation information, and then any additional compensation info as far as bonuses or lesson income. And this is all really helpful when you're trying to maybe negotiate a contract, or you're just wondering where you stand in the industry, or you're wondering, are my assistants paid enough? Am I paid enough? And you just want to kind of cross-check. What's nice here too is that I have access to all sections. So I know I get a lot of requests sometimes for, can you look up California in general? Can you look up Southern California as well as Northern California? Yes, absolutely. I can look up both. I can also look up just our section. So again, this information is pulling from the completed compensation surveys, right? So if I don't have the data to pull this report from, then the numbers will probably be skewed. So the more numbers we have, the more data we have, the more accurate representation I think we have to give to an employer when they ask for information. So that's just one example of kind of a standard report that I would send to you if you asked for one. And then the next slide will show kind of a more custom report. I know it's a little bit small, hard to read, but basically, like I mentioned previously, we have a specific tech person on our team that is able to do a lot of custom reports for us. So I had someone reach out to me recently who asked for kind of a Western region look at this. So I was able to pull the Pacific Northwest section, the California, NorCal, SoCal, Utah, Colorado. I kind of pulled like a Western region look at this because they wanted to know different clubs at A1, what the average professional was making. So you see the report will be downloaded. We never give out account names, so you'll never see the club name for confidentiality, but you'll be able to see kind of base pay, total compensation, and you'll be able to see kind of the averages based on those. So one thing that's also really nice is I can also download reports by zip code. So I always do this for a lot of the Tahoe clubs because the Reno Tahoe region is very different than, let's say, Monterey Bay. They're obviously more seasonal up there. So if you give me some zip codes that you want me to work with, I'm able to download information by zip code. Also, I can look up peer clubs. So if you give me 10 golf clubs that you want me to look up, I'm able to look up by that data. For 10 golf clubs, it might be similar to your club. Again, that goes back to those 10 clubs need to also have had the information filled out for me to be able to give you the information. But it's always nice when you're trying to compare yourself to maybe some other clubs in the market. If you can give me the names, I'm able to download the reports. So just a benefit to you as a PGA member, you can always contact me year round. I know a lot of people contact me going into the hiring season in the fall, kind of to look at their structure of their pay. So always here to help on that.
Caitlyn, real quick too, I think something to point out here, and I know you've mentioned this before as part of the myths, but no matter what your classification, right, you should be filling this out. So for many of you who might be just coaching full time, right, like Caitlyn and I would be happy to sit with you. We can talk about, excuse me, all of your player engagement opportunities that you offer and what kind of income those are bringing, because those are just as important, right? So just make sure that you are filling this out no matter who you are. Of course, we have a lot of great testimonials here, and I'll have Caitlyn speak a little bit more to that. But again, just the importance of filling out this comp survey. And I think we can't hound on the most major benefit about filling this out is it's really impacting you in the industry. Again, no matter what type of position you have, if we don't have this information, then we can't grow as an industry. And I know we talk a lot about work-life balance right now. So we want to make sure that everyone feels compensated, you know, in the way they deserve. And obviously we all want to make more money. So the more information we have, the more that people like myself and Caitlyn can actually fight for you, as well as all the other career consultants and player engagement consultants around the country. Because some of you may not stay in California. Maybe, you know, a family matter makes you move out of state. And so if we don't have all this information nationally, then it's hard for us to make sure that you get what you would like as far as changing positions. And even if you're in the same position and you want a little bit of a pay raise because you've worked so hard, we need this data so we can help and we can fight for you. So again, the biggest benefit here is you. So it only impacts you in a great way. So please make sure you fill this out.
Thanks, Junko. Yeah, well said there. I'm not going to read off the testimonials, but this is just some that I've received over the last year or so from NorCal members and the impact that this reporting is helping them. So kind of the first one, I just want to point out, like that first top one, it just says that, you know, I definitely helped my cause. I got a 10% bump, which is about $11,000. So even something as simple as getting this person an accurate report for all Northern California clubs, they were able to realize that he was, you know, being underpaid. So just something as simple as just double checking. Let's see where we're at. And always happy to help. And this just definitely benefits you. And even if you don't think it might benefit you, think of your other members in your section. I think that's one thing that always helps you realize, okay, well, I don't see a benefit in filling it out for myself, but maybe someone else will benefit from it. So give back to your other section members, and maybe someone that's looking for a role like you have currently needs some more information and data. And so please fill it out to help out everyone in the section. So again, we have the QR code just like we had for deferred compensation. So if you want to pull out your phone, if you haven't already, and scan that code to fill out the compensation survey. Again, you know, obviously we want to show your value to your employer and make sure that you're properly compensated, but we can only do that if we have the numbers. Like I said at the beginning too, it's always good to get in the habit of doing this every single year. Even if you haven't changed jobs or even if your pay has not gone up, it's always good to go in there, double check everything. Maybe you received a larger bonus, but your pay is the same or whatnot. Go in there, check it out, update it every single year, get into the habit of doing that, and it'll definitely benefit the section as well.
So thank you for your time today. Of course, we'll have a few more minutes here to take any questions or comments or anything you might have before we do wrap this up. But does anyone have any questions about the comp survey? Or of course, we can always discuss deferred comp again as well. Wow, we nailed it, Caitlyn.
No questions.
Well, either which way, again, just hopefully you do fill out the comp survey. Again, we would love your help in getting our numbers up. Again, just only helps. Again, don't want to sound like a broken machine, but that's what we would really love for each and every one of you who is on the call today to fill out that survey today if you haven't already. But yeah, and hopefully sign up for deferred comp as well. But if you don't have any questions, I guess we'll turn it back to Len if you'd like to have any closing comments or statements too. But I know for myself, thank you so much for having us this morning and spending time with us. Thank you.
Real quick before Len jumps in. So our contact information is up there. I know most of you probably already have it, but our emails, our cell phones, you know, Junko and I are here kind of as your PGA support staff. We're here for any questions PGA related. So, you know, we talked a lot about deferred comp and comp survey today, but if you have a question about anything related to your PGA account or anything going on at the club, we're always happy to help and listen. I think the thing that we always want to point out is that, you know, we're here to help support you. So whether it's even calling us and venting about something, or you just need a listening ear, we're always here. Everything we talk about is confidential. We're here to support you. We're here to assist you. And, you know, obviously, if we don't know you, it's harder to help you, right? So please extend the hand. Please reach out if you have a question, and get to know us. We'll get to know you, and it just helps our working relationship. So always here to help. And yeah, Len, if you have any parting thoughts and maybe some section reminders.
So just thank you to both of you, and for everyone on the call, ladies and gentlemen. I think you can see the tremendous value and resources that Caitlyn and Junko provide, and the success of something like the deferred comp program. And a little bit about the survey. As they said, everybody helps everybody. So just put the data in, you know, don't prejudge your data, but it really is important because, as Junko mentioned, you know, it comes into about 3 different areas. You may be in classification, maybe a head golf professional becoming a director of golf, maybe a director of golf becoming a general manager. It helps in that sense. Perhaps you've had the job for a number of years and your contract is coming up for renewal. It'll help with that renewal. As Caitlyn does many times and Junko does, going to an employer that may be first time hiring a PGA professional. And so it helps in that sense. So everybody helps everybody. To both of you, thank you so much for keeping us up on this. It's an exciting time to be a PGA member and an associate. And as you can see, we're tremendously supported here in Northern California. So thank you both. Thank you both. And thanks for everybody who's been on the call today.
Absolutely. Thank you all. We'll report that PDR point, but if you hadn't signed up yet, just shoot myself an email or sign up through that link that we had originally posted, and we'll get those reported. We also recorded this, so if anyone wants to watch it back, or if there was someone at your club that wants to watch it afterwards, just send us an email. We're happy to send it out to them. So everyone have a great rest of your day. Thanks again, Junko, for doing this with me, and take care, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.